Well, hello and welcome, everybody. I'm still playing with the light in my studio, so um, we should by next week have this pretty much figured out. But if I disappear, into the light, it's not me; it's the light. so, welcome everybody. The big thing that I wanted to focus on. I don't know if you can see this part of my shirt, but this says "Let Love In," and it's my favorite new dress because it seems to me that a lot of the issue for many of us is actually letting love in, and I wanted to focus as we're taking a look at attention today and loop of awareness is that one of the big benefits of loop of awareness is that it allows you to turn toward. And I'm probably going to be crying this morning. Our beloved Greta died quite suddenly last Tuesday, and and we were, of course, we were in shock and and are mostly back in our bodies now. And one of the things that I realized as Gay and I were talking is that we always turned toward Greta. So, and one of our friends was saying that she had never seen modeling of people turning toward every opportunity that we had to give attention to Greta, we did. And so, although we were, just devastated, we also I felt so grateful that I had chosen to turn toward her and that we never held anything back. So we had no regrets. We just regretted that she couldn't live forever. And what it reminded me of is that the most valuable gift that we can give to ourselves and others is our attention. And that one of the things that loop of awareness allows us to do is to turn toward. Just by giving your attention, you're actually turning toward. And so I would love for you to let yourself play with not only, so first, what is wanting to have you turn toward it inside your body? Or like I have these two little, it's like something got me across my back. I have these two little, it probably coincided with Greta dying. So it just give my attention to, I've got to stay in my body. But what is it in your body that's going, hey, turn toward? And how can you use your attention inside yourself to turn toward that? And what I appreciate so much about attention is it's like a parachute and like a jellyfish and like a lava lamp, all at once, that you can turn toward and shape your attention to surround something going on in you, or to support something going on in you, or to hug something. You can give a love scoop to something going on in you. And then you can let yourself turn toward what's going on outside you. Like we had an unexpected rain last week, and I tell you, our plants are going, fall. They're just like, so there's this kind of look at me, which is really different than, oh, look at me. So there may be things outside of you that you wouldn't be looking at because you hadn't really turned your attention toward all of the beauty going on around you. So I'd love you to turn fully toward something going on outside, and then bringing your attention back, because we can get absorbed in what's going on out there, and that happens. And turning our attention using loop of awareness allows us to turn our attention by choice rather than our attention being grabbed reactively. So that whole, what is it like for you to really turn fully toward? And notice the little ways that you don't quite turn toward. You might get distracted, or there might be a sound that takes your attention away, or there's something unexpected. So the whole gathering your attention, being able to shift your attention, is one of the great benefits that you'll get just by the daily practice of the loop of awareness. And that whole turning toward um, allowed us to both grieve Greta, but also to celebrate that we used every opportunity to give and receive love with her. Um, so we have no regrets. And then one of the most amazing things that happened was that Allie has done a complete 180. So Allie, our splitter, was actually a splitter because Greta took up all the space. Our little bulldozer and our little I will get your attention right now. So Allie sort of on the first couple of days, she was just looking around. She just spent a lot of time looking around. And then she jumped up on the bed and has been on Gay or me more in the last week than in all of the last few months combined. So it's allowed her to really blossom in a whole new way, which was so unexpected to us, and also such a balm, because we were just absolute puddles. And then she'd split her time. She'd be on me, and then she'd go over, and then she'd be on Gay, and she'd come over and be on Gay on me. So she was our nursemaid, and then she'd go in the other room and recover, and then come back. And so we have a whole new life with her, which we had no idea that this would happen. One of our friends, Lainey, said the same thing happened with when she had two cats, and one of them died. The other one went, all right, my turn now. So, in the midst of all of this, to have all of the grief, but on all of these little miracles. And I'm sure that all of that is really about our commitment to go all the way in giving and receiving attention, giving and receiving love. So at the very base of our practice is choosing to turn toward. And that's the basis of all successful relationships. It's the basis of you really having the life that you want to create. And so that's the big invitation, is that as you're going through, especially the next few days, to let yourself go, now am I really turned toward this? And one of the benefits I have found of being able to gather my attention and choose where I'm putting my attention is that I have far fewer spills. I have far fewer, missing of things, grabbing for something and having it fall over. It has just made life much easier and more in flow. And so when you run into a kerfuffle, and I wouldn't say we had a kerfuffle, but it was a major unexpected event, that our Gay and I being able to turn toward each other, and then turn toward Greta, and then turn toward the vets, and then made it possible for us actually to keep our aliveness and deepen our aliveness through this really major event. So turning toward is what I want to really offer you. And then the second thing I wanted to offer you is the card. We'd like to have our every week, for those of you who are new, welcome. We do a little bit of a practice of the loop of awareness, and then we look at one of our integrity cards. And this one, this is the one that called my attention today. So I just looked at the collages, not what they were saying. So letting yourself turn fully toward and notice where your attention wants to go on the card, and then bring your attention back to you, and where does your attention want to land in you from what you're observing and taking in from the card. And so letting your attention shift back and forth while I read you first the sentence that goes with this card. I am curious to discover and learn from my feelings and inner experience. I am curious to discover and learn from my feelings and inner experience. And I was just hearing, I get. So the card says, I am, and I invite you to change it to, I get, or I can get. I can get curious to discover and learn from my feelings and inner experience. And then the questions are, how can I learn to locate emotions accurately in my body? Anger in my neck and shoulders, sadness in my chest and throat, and fear in my belly. How can I learn to locate emotions accurately in my body? Anger in my neck and shoulders, sadness in my chest and throat, and fear in my belly. So one of the things that we've learned is that the big emotions come through sensations that travel together in your body. And when you're giving attention toward you, when you're turning your attention, if you're getting sensations in these three areas, let's come on back to the big group. So these are not the only sensations in your body, of course, but they're so reliable that they can give you a gateway into exploring what's going on that your body has registered first, but that your mind hasn't gotten yet. And so the whole area, jaws, back of the neck, shoulders, is getting your hackles up. And there's lots of opportunity for us right now to get our hackles up. And so if you've been noticing that you have tension across your shoulders or your jaw feels tight, there may be some anger for you to explore. And anger is not the only thing going on in your shoulders and not the only thing going on in your body, but it's so reliable that it's a great gateway in. And then, of course, for us, it was very clear that we were in major sadness. But if you had, one of the things I really appreciated is that despite all of this, I didn't get, I didn't get a sore throat. My throat did not close up in this. I was able to keep the flow going through my throat. So sadness in your, particularly in your high chest and throat, that heaviness, a feeling of weight, often have to do with sadness. And then of course, around your belly button, in the butterfly racy queasy, is where fear resides for most of us. So those are like the primary colors in your body. So you have many more colors going on in your body and many more colors going on in what you're noticing in the world. But those body sensations are such a key to opening up to, what's going on now? And what I was really noticing was curiosity. So getting curious is something that we can choose. It's not something that we have to wait to happen to us. So getting curious is also one of the great gifts that Greta had. She was incessantly curious and like, what's going on now? What are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? And that turning toward with curiosity makes life just an incredible adventure. So no matter what is happening, if you turn toward it with curiosity, then you start to interact with it in a way that can allow you to really fully participate in the adventure of life directly rather than just being at the effect of it. So that's our card for today. And then what we also do is we just packing it all in here so that you have lots of things to play with during the week. So turning to Presence Connect Play and seeing what the combo is today. Ah, beautiful. So presence is take 3 breaths and change your body posture. So one of the things I love about this one is this is backed up by research. This comes from I think it was out of the University of Minneapolis, that people who were dealing with depression were, they had these different things they were having them doing. And the control group, they had they had breathing. These were people that will do a control group. They had medications that were giving people, but the control group did this taking 3 relaxed breaths, which I want to invite you to do now, taking 3 relaxed, connected breaths. The most valuable thing is to connect your in breath on over into your out breath, because the is where we often hold. So connecting and then letting that go. And then 3, not 1 or 2, but 3 connected breaths. And then change your body posture in some way. Because people forget that you hold your feelings and hold your point of view in your body. And when you change your posture in your body, it allows all of that to flow again. But if you've been holding your breath and trying to change your posture, it's like when you do windmill love scoops. If you get your breath and your movement coordinated, it can change your whole mood, your whole state in your body with 3 breaths and changing your body position so you can get present. And I used that a lot in this last week because I'd be off in my grief and then need to handle something. So I would breathe and change my body posture, and then I became available again. So it's not as if you're going to stay there forever, but this is incredibly reliable way of presencing yourself in the middle of chaos, which is what we're in the middle of right now. And connect is listen appreciatively. So we have all kinds of directions about whole body listening and conscious listening, and what they all really come down to is appreciating with your listening. And one of the definitions of appreciating is to be sensitively aware of, and opening up to listening with a sensitive awareness puts you in contact with the other person, puts you in contact with what's going on inside, and particularly tones and pauses and differences in rhythm. You all are aware of those, but it's almost always just subliminal, that we don't really give it our full turning toward. But if you're listening, you can hear like, oh, there's something, oh, what's going on here? And just your opening and turning toward that allows you to connect with others in a way that they feel safe with you and can open up more to sharing what's going on. So that's for connecting. And presence, connect, play are designed to replace the triangle of the hero, victim, villain, so that we have to go, whose fault is it? Or who's not taking care of me? Or who do I need to help now? So rather than that, you can be practicing presencing, here I am, connecting, and then what wants to happen. And the what wants to happen we call play, because play is way more effective than like working on it. And playing through things is much more effective than struggling and working hard with them. So play is mirror the other with your body. So this will be fun for you to try out, because nobody's going to know what you're doing here. I'd like you to pick somebody that you can see here on Zoom, and I'd like you to mirror their body in like what I call mini mirroring. So you're not doing a big full out, clown show, but you're letting yourself, like, if their head is tilted, you're just letting yourself, what would it be like to let my head tilt just a little bit? And then noticing what your experience is. We are always mirroring each other that we're around, but again, it's usually something that we're not aware of. And when you let yourself mirror, I started doing this decades ago when I started practicing dance movement therapy, because I wanted to be able to experience more fully what was going on for the other person. And now I can do it inside myself. So, and do it more subtly. But when you're with friends, feel free, people who